Hey, good day, guys. I hope you are well. Listen, this is Coach Bricks. I wanted to talk about something that, I've been thinking a lot on the last 2 to 3 years and how the human body works. Okay, and I don't think we're being told everything correctly when it comes to our healing process. And like I always say, the human body knows one thing, and that's survival. All survival heals and adapts. That's it. It's all it truly knows. Now, it heals at all times, it's constantly healing. Your so called sickness that people call your flu, your cold, that's a healing process. Now, people won't call it that. They'll call it sickness because you got to give it a name so that I can treat it a certain way. Or, hey, I have Parkinson's or cancers. They're healing processes that the body goes through. It's just like stroke. Now, you'll call it a disease and then everybody will get mad at me, but all it is a healing process. Okay? The body's constantly under a state of healing of our environment that we're in, from what we eat to how we treat it to all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to focus on injuries, okay? And how injuries get affected when we get hurt and how the body responds to that. So let's take an ankle, for example, because it's probably the most common type of injury when it comes to athletics, to the human being, whatever. People roll their ankle. And I know people who aren't even, playing a sport that they roll their ankle and hurt themselves, just walking sometimes because they're devolved and their body, can't handle the force that you're applying to it at the time. But when we have these injuries, okay, the body has to go through a healing state. Okay, so the first thing typically what happens, and not all cases, but probably 80% of ankle sprains, if not more, the body swells, the ankle swells. Okay, especially if we stay on it, if we just elevate it up on a chair without getting our heart above it, that's not really elevating. I talk about that in another video about elevation, what we need to do. But what happens is it starts to swell. That's the healing process. Right away, immediately the body knows that it's hurt. Remember, survival. What does it need to do? It heals. Okay? So the healing process comes in first. It swells, blood goes there, you start to heal. Now, the first thing that everybody does is they put ice on, which is wrong. I've talked about that a million times. Ice is wrong. You need to move it. You need to get it moving, but you have to move it correctly. You have to move it in a way so the body understands it's okay. I'm okay. I can start to heal the process the correct way. And let me show you. So when we start out in life, okay, we go on a path right here. Okay, so we go straight down this path. If we stayed on this path right here, okay, straight down, all right, straight up and down on this path right here, okay, this would be, hey, I never get sick, I never get a disease, I never get hurt, boom, I go on and live to 120, and eventually I die of old age. It just happens. God takes us, okay? When we get hurt, what happens is our body has to adapt, and I say this all the time, it has to adapt. So it goes off course, okay? It starts to go off course. Why? The adaptation process of the healing, all right? So when I'm healing, okay, my body has to adapt. So I still want to get from point A to point B. How do I do that? Okay, so if I sprain an ankle, I get on crutches if I need crutches, okay? So then I put more force on the other side of the body, right? So I'm adapting. Or they give me one of those walking boots that turns my foot out and jacks me up even more. I have to adapt. Okay? The body now, all of a sudden being straight, the foot being straight, now all of a sudden you start walking out like this, and a lot of people think it's okay, but it's not. The body's not in asymmetrical form anymore, and it gets all jacked up. In symmetry, I should say, and it gets all messed up, okay? So we start to take off on this path. Now, through our healing, natural body healing, okay, that God had given us, we start to shift ourselves back, all right? So we start to come back over to where we should be, okay? We should be here. A lot of times because we don't heal the whole way back, because we're not told how to heal, we're not instructed how to heal. You go to therapy for 2, 3, 4 weeks, 2, 3 times a week. You think you're back because you can go back and play athletics, or you're not having technically any pain. You get to here. Now all of a sudden you're in this realm. Okay, you're off your main realm. Okay, so here's your main realm. Now you're off just a little bit. Okay, you're off. But this off has now shifted the body. Okay, now your body has to compensate, continue to compensate. So now, say I'm walking, right? So I hurt my right leg. All of a sudden I put more stress on my left leg, okay, and I'm constantly on it. So now my left is doing more work. Even though I feel fine and I feel like I'm doing okay, the body's now off center where it should be. It's not back on course. So over time, not right away, but over time, you start to have problems with your left side. okay, because I haven't healed right. Or I jack my right side up, maybe my knee now, maybe my hip goes out, but a lot of times it's the opposite side. When I talk to my athletes, I'm like, hey, did you ever hurt your ankle or anything like that when I'm looking at them? Well, yeah, my right ankle, but it's my left knee. Because you compensate. See, people won't tell you this. You compensate and you throw your body now off. Now you're on a whole different path, whole different paradigm right here. So it's like almost take a car. Okay, I don't change the oil. So the oil starts to bind up, all that kind of stuff. It's now a year and I still haven't changed the oil. The oil, okay, could be the cause of what causes the car to break down, but you might not have a problem with the oil pan. The oil pan might be fine. Okay, even though that was the issue, the oil, okay, in the oil pan, it's because I didn't do my job of maintaining and fixing the car correctly, which is the maintenance part of it, to get it right. And then eventually other parts of the car break apart, other parts of the engine fall apart, and then all of a sudden you're in trouble. Okay? So the idea of the human body is you have to get back as quickly as you can back to our state of where we're at, right here, right down the middle line again. It's imperative that we do that, but we don't. There's so many athletes that I see and people that compensate constantly, and I was one of them. I'm going to tell you right now, I was one of them. This is how I figured this out, because I was one of those people of not understanding how the body worked. And eventually, as I talk about, my hip and my back were destroyed, but it was my left side that did the job and damaged my right. As my right was being done, then I compensated back to the left side. And at the time, I wasn't figuring out, but all of a sudden I started getting some knee pain in my left side. And I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. Until I figured out that all that compensation was going on and I was damaging my left side again. And that's all the body was trying to figure out to do, because I still had to get from point A to point B, and it had to survive, so it was trying to figure it out. And that's why I'm so adamant about getting an athlete back or person back. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be a sport athlete playing a sport. You can be an athlete in life to get back to here. But you have to understand that. You just can't go and say, well, I don't have pain anymore. Pain is one of the last indicators to come in when you're hurt, and it's one of the first indicators to leave. There's other things that are constantly going on within the human body. The problem is nobody teaches the human body of how to actually feel the internal works of your body. It's your body. You have a soul for a reason. It's to get connected to that soul, that spirit, to understand what's inside, how you're supposed to feel. We don't teach that. Very few. And if somebody does, then you call them a quack. I'm talking about God-given ability to inside to feel what you're supposed to feel. When I start to feel off, when something doesn't feel right, my walk, my step, I start to analyze what is going on, what is stepping, what's moving, what's working, what's not working. And then I go to attack and fix it. It's a constant battle, okay? I'm not perfect. I never will because of the injuries that I've had, all right? But what I'm constantly trying to do is keep me right in this realm, so I can live disease and pain-free till the day I die. But like I said, too many times we go off course. And some people are way over here. Reason being, okay? Reason they're way over there is because they have so many injuries they haven't taken care of. And people are like, well, it's just natural as you age. Age doesn't have anything to do with it. I'm telling you right now, I'm tired of people arguing with me. Age has nothing to do with it. If you had no idea when your birthday was, you would not know how old you are. Now, you could see in the mirror like, hey, I've aged. Okay, that doesn't mean you have to feel a certain way. So I'm tired of people that say that. Even smart people I know say that. Okay? Doctors, everybody. Well, it's your age. What does that have to do with how I feel? Nothing. The reason you have that is because we never adapt back to where we should be. The crap that we ate when we were young, we haven't got it out of our system. Stuff like that. We haven't gotten rid of that stuff. So then we're off course. Everything is off course. We're off course. We're just constantly off course, and we're never fixing to come back into the homeopathic state of what we need to be in, that God intended us to be in. God didn't intend us to live over here. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, that's not where God intended us to live. God intended us to figure out, struggle, have to conform, and get back into our body's natural state. But we don't. We constantly are beating around the bush, and we're not understanding how this human body works. And it irritates me because there's a lot of smart people out there that just won't listen. They won't listen because this is hard. Once I get back and I feel better, guess what? It's easy. Oh, I feel fine, so I'm going to go back to do what I did. Look, I'm young. I have no problems. Look, I hurt my ankle 3 years later, what Dave said doesn't really affect me. And then all of a sudden, 10 years later, all of a sudden it comes back. And that's how it is. I have a gentleman right now, broke his leg when he was 8. Okay, he's in his 50s now. Broke his leg when he was 8, right? He's had multiple problems since that time because nobody ever fixed him back. So the body constantly adapted, and then he constantly had issues going forward. Do not let an injury sideline you later on in life with pain. Don't let somebody tell you, well, it's your age and that's why you hurt. No, I do not agree. I don't think God ever intended our body to do like that. I don't. He wouldn't have given us the healing powers that he gave us inside of ourselves. When I put a cast on, does that cast heal me? No. My body heals me. The cast is only there to so-called protect so I don't do something to make it worse. Okay? Technically, you really don't even need a cast. I know doctors are going to get mad at me for that, but you technically don't. It's like I said, it's just an awareness of a protection mechanism. Just like a boot. If I have a foot, why do I need a boot to fix me? Fix me the correct way. If I sprain an ankle, why do I want to put something on that shifts my pattern on my foot and then causes me to have issues? I can't tell you how many athletes I've had who have put boots on. Okay? Come back to me a couple months later. Yo, my Achilles heel is killing me. When I turn my foot out like that and I change the pattern and I change it, yes, I'm gonna do problems to my foot. Yes, my ankle, I might be able to walk, but great. But if I'm changing my pattern of how I'm supposed to move and be in that homeopathic state right here, God intended, I'm doing something wrong. So we just need to start thinking differently. Start thinking how the body actually works. If you're a faith-based person, believes in God, think, does God want all this other stuff over here and doesn't think we know how to heal? Now, we need sometimes addressing, we need people to help us out because we don't internalize. We don't have the knowledge to actually get deep inside it. And that's what I try to do. I try to get my athletes to understand, hey, listen, you heal you. You can figure it out, but you have to start to understand how the human body works. You have to dive deeper into that. And yes, I help a lot of people out with that. Hey, we're in the healing process. I've had people who cannot pick their shoulders up. It's been 20 some years. They're now up to here. It's not me that does it. I try to teach them what I'm trying to do, okay? And get them to understand their body. And when they do, it's magical what happens. I truly believe we can come over everything and we can stay right here, right? Is it easy? No. Please do not take this as this is something easy. Dave's saying, oh, it should be easy. Not at all. Everything should be a struggle in life, okay? I'm sorry, that's just how it is. It's a challenge. It's a challenge to get better and stay in this state. This is where I want to be. I want to stay here, okay? As close to that line as humanly possible, okay? Where I should be, till the day I'm 120 and die. That's where I want to be. I don't want to be over here living chronically diseased or chronically always hurt. My back always hurt. Or I wake up and, oh, Dave, I have back pain. I got to take this medication. I mean, you're doing more damage to your body because you're putting toxic crap into it with pills and things like that. We want to get you back here. All right? We have to get back here. Now, some people will never believe this. I know. But that's okay. I'm getting to the people who really want to start to fix themselves and understand how to fix themselves and how to get to this state, because you can get there. I truly believe you can get there. I've done it. Has it been easy? No. It's a constant struggle. It's a constant understanding of my body, trying to understand it deeper and deeper and deeper of where I'm at. Why and should I stay here? What am I eating? Oh crap, I'm eating crap, and now I'm over here. Now all of a sudden I get sick, and I actually have done a couple of studies on people who eat stuff bad get sick, and then you're like, well, how does that happen? You're putting toxic stuff into your body. Your body has to get rid of it, because like I call sickness actually a detoxification process. I don't call it sickness. It's detoxification. You're detoxing crap out so you can feel better, okay? And that's what happens. So if I'm taking bad stuff in, which most people do because we don't eat healthy, that's what we get to. All right? I want to see us living right here in this state, all the way down, nice in that realm. Okay? Right there. If we do that, I'm telling you, people, we'll change the whole industry. You'll change how you feel. You'll change how you'll be. You'll live better. Spiritually, you'll live better. Mentally, you'll be better. Physically, you'll be better. Imagine that. Imagine more people not as depressed as we have in the society today. More people thinking differently. How do I fix myself? How do I stay in this path? I'm not saying it's easy. Please do not just say, well, I wake up one day and I think I'm going to be fine. That's not how it worked. With me, it took years to figure out what was wrong with me. And then I started figuring it out. And then I started fixing it. I had horrible back and hip pain. Horrible. All right? All those years of lifting that heavy crap weight, all that stuff. Now, people argue with me. All these strength coaches argue with me. No, man, that's not it. Yes, it was. I'm sorry it was. Okay? That destroyed me. And what I did was fixed it. Okay? Am I against lifting? Not at all. I think lifting's great. Do I still lift heavy? Yes. But do I do it differently? Yes. Okay? I'm not all about just, hey, let's just go throw as much weight on the bar as possible and then hurt ourselves, like most strength coaches try to instill upon people. I try to make it more fun-based, things like that now, but I also lift heavy objects, doing them outside, as I call it my Earth Strong movement. Okay? But I want to see this, and it's part of the Earth Strong movement, getting your body back to where it goes. The workouts are just part of it. This is the other part of getting your body to understand it. Okay? So let's stop going off course. If you get hurt, figure out how to fix it. And just because you went to rehab for a couple weeks doesn't mean you're back where you should be. I'm sorry. I've seen it way too often. People coming in and they never get back. They get to here somewhere, okay? But they're not where they need to be, okay? No more. We need to get better at that, all right? So reach out. You have comments, questions, let me know. Let's start changing the mindset of people here, all right? Let's start changing them. Let's get them on the pace of where we can live so much better. So you can start taking care of your house. You're not relying on a system that cares very little about you. They care about the money you give them, but doesn't care about this. I care about the human body, how to get us back to this state, living to 120. It's not impossible. I truly believe we can get there. All right? Have yourself a blessed day. All my stuff, if you need to reach out to me, is in the comment section. All right? Be blessed.